Let's fight. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to each and every one of you. It's the final day of the week. We trust you guys have had a very, very productive week, a week of overcoming all the challenges and the obstacles that were perhaps in your way. And trust that you guys are going to have an even more better, fantastic, terrific Friday evening on the program in the ring with us. Welcome, folks, into the arena, into the Coliseum. Great to see all of you there, guys. Let us know where you're joining us from. Really, really great to have you. Vashti Magnot from Canada and Yvonne. Also, all of the usual suspects gathering. Melissa, April, Yvonne Rodriguez. We see you there. Fidel, Nakam, Langhorn, Denny's, London Welchman, Flora Jacobs Ward, Lynette Jacobs as well is here. All the Jacobs are in the ring tonight. Melissa April, as we said. I see Joylyn Cook is here. Alia Waldron is here as well. And Alia looks like she's fired up and she's ready to go. Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. We're happy that Alia's fired up and ready to go. Let's fight. We got to fight. Gather around, folks. Welcome into the arena. Welcome into the Coliseum. Good to have each and every one of you in the ring tonight. Again, it's the final day of the week. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, guys. Good to see you. Eunice Cato and Sharon Griffith. I see John Raymond as well. Gwyneth Jones. Fantastic, lovely people. June Chase, Derek Smith, and Deborah Seeley. Deborah, how you doing now? Deborah, how are you? Good to see you, Deborah. How you keeps? Siobhan McDonald, Don Raymond, Diane Gravesandi, Onika Glenn. I see Sherry Singh is here and Anson, Mob, Lynch. All of these special names. Yvonne McPherson is there and Rochelle Pollard as well. Alona Stevens, Nelissa Thomas. I see Cecile Ogle, Angeli Abrams, Angela McDonald. Oh my Lord, Ariel Abrams is here too. Good to see all of you fantastic folks in the ring. Kylie Carter is here as well. Carlotta McFarlane, Sean, Deborah Seeley again. Natalie Harry, Viola Wolford, Brenda. Good to see you there. Carmen Bailey, Simone Kelman. Onyx is here as well. And Simona Jacobs. Onyx Duncan, that is. And Simona Jacobs. Good to see all of you fantastic, lovely people, except Onyx Duncan. Except, once it's Duncan, you don't know his problems. Onyx, good to see you. Ringside, my brother. Rita Singh and Kesharma, Brent Mentor, Lily McGarrel is here as well. Rhonda Moses, Kemraj Singh is here too. Come on down. Good to see Kemraj. Good to see all of you fantastic folks. Good to see all of you fantastic folks in the ring. Happy that you guys are here this evening. Lovely to see all of you guys. Lovely to see all of you guys here tonight. Lovely to see all of you guys ringside. All of you guys have come into the Coliseum. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh boy, good to see you folks. 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 So many of you, the names are going by so very fast. Great to see you guys. Brent Mentor is here as well. Did I say Lily McGarrel and Kemrat Singh is here too, guys? As you come into the ring, share the live stream. Guys, I'm trying to read the messages. I'm trying to read the names as they go by, like Alvin Fraser and Glennis Mingo Byrne. I see Royston is here too. Royston Melville. That is Roxanne Garraway, Valerie Ann Wong. Valerie, my great-grandfather's Chinese. His surname was Chung, C-H-U-N-G. So I got a little Chinese in my blood, little Amerindian, little indigenous blood. Folks, I seen Icon Vivo. All these fancy names are just the Vivo icons you all are using now on YouTube. Good to see you there. Lovely folks. Roxanne Gary as well, guys. As you come into the arena, you come into the Coliseum, share the live stream. Share the live stream. Good to see each and every one of you joining us again. Now I'm making a check to see what's happening on social media. what's happening on Facebook. Good to have you guys here. Lots of you are not only in the Coliseum, not only in the arena, but you guys are ringside. That's the seat of choice. Some of y'all rock back in your fancy chairs and so on, your big settee, as we say, your suite, that you're paying codes for and so forth. Watching us, guys. Great to have all of you, each and every one of you, ringside tonight, guys. Give us a share. Give us a share, please. And thank you, folks. Give us a share. You know, we got hundreds of you watching already. We ain't seen the shares to match. We want to see those emojis. We want to see those shares as well. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, you know, I ain't got to tell you all, and by now, I'm not going to beg. Perhaps. I ain't know yet. I'm not going to beg. But guys, you know the bills got to pay. And we are asking you guys to come on board and to partner with us. Well, October bills got to pay, folks, and we need you to come on board. We need you guys to come on board. So great to see Janet Edwards. So great to see Alkaline Caesar, Rowena Cummins. So great to see Doreen Clark. I was going to say good to see Doreen Clark, Diane Graves-Andy, Patricia Asana, all you wonderful, fantastic folks. Samantha Jilks, and I see Cheryl Gillis is here as well. Onessa Wardine is here too. I see Marsha Glasgow. Did I call Marsha? Alvin Fraser. I see Sean Bennett. Renee McKenzie Talbot is really, really foundational fan. Foundational ringside. Gloria Fraser. All you great, fantastic people. I am ready to get to the fight card, guys. I ain't know about you, but are you ready to get to it? Loading. Stories are loading, folks. We're following this issue coming out of New Amsterdam, where there's a school there where a teacher has been has contracted COVID-19. Contracted COVID-19 there, and the folks are very, very worried. That is not being taken serious at that end at all. The teachers down at that end, as I said, they are very, very worried that issue there, it is not being taken very seriously. And this has to do with an area, I think, of the Teachers Training College there in New Amsterdam, guys. And as I said to you, this is one of the stories that are developing, but we are concerned about the spread of COVID. And the ministry seemed more interested in hiding and locking down, not locking down in the right way to curb COVID-19, but locking down information and trying to shut down people who want to speak out in what's happening there. And so we know that some of the persons there in New Amsterdam, they are very concerned. They are very concerned about what is happening there, right? This is the New Amsterdam Nursery School that is on the back dam next to the Lions Club, right? The New Amsterdam school there that is next to that Lion Club Bridge, rather, right? They say it's back dam. That's the name of the area next to the Lions Bridge, and they are quite concerned there. They are quite concerned. So, folks, this is one of the issues that we are focusing on. One of the issues that we have loading, which means that it is still developing, but we want to let you know, just in case we don't get to cover it. You know, definitely not over the weekend once we don't have a reason to come back on the air, but it is a developing story. I know what else to tell you. It's a developing story. Folks, as you come on board, share the live stream. As I said, good to see so many of you. Yvonne Brandt, Janet Edwards, Joylyn Cook, Kesh Sharma is here as well. Paul D'Angelo. I see Erica Fraser. Is it Erica Fraser? I don't want to marry out anybody wrongfully. I see Lisa Ann Hernandez is here. Monique Wilson is here as well. Hernandez, the whole Hernandez clan. Karen Kelman is here. Erica Hooper, Marlon Cox, Robert Narayan. Good to see you there. All you lovely folks. George Anand is here as well. Guys, if you come on, you got to share the live stream. Consider partnering with us. We're on Cash App. We're on PayPal. We're on MMG. We are available via Western Union. We're available via MoneyGram. Guys, good to see so many of you here. And I don't know about you, but I am ready to get to the fight card because I got lots of information to share with you before our guest comes. And I am ready to go, ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. Good to see so many of you in the ring again, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's fight. We got to fight, folks. We got to fight. Boots on the ground, we ain't backing down. Boots on the ground, we ain't backing down. Boots on the ground, we ain't backing down. That's how it's going down here tonight. So we trust that you guys, as we said when we started, have had a fantastic week at work, that you guys have had a fantastic day at work, and that you guys have worked honestly. You put in the time for the man, and your employer is not going to, try to embarrass you or anything like that, that you ain't giving your pound of flesh, but you're just earning the money on the false pretense. We want the kind of folks. And you all know we need a little partnership with us here on the ring. So go out there, work hard, and earn that money the right way, folks. Great to see each and every one of you. We got the files tonight. We got some files tonight, folks. We got some files. We got some files. Right? Touch the person next to you and say, we got some files. This is church, you know. We got some files, folks, and we got to share with you. You all know in the ring here, we got the files. Folks, I went to the business place just today. Just today. Just today. And Big Auntie said, my husband is what she be like. I introduced him to the program one night. Lovely, elderly Indian woman. She said, every night now he hooked more than me. More than me. I fall asleep and Huzzy hunching me saying, no, listen what happening here now. Listen to this. Here what's happening here now. We got some files, folks. We got some files. Y'all know we's got the files. Right? Monique, you know we's got the files, and Karen Thorne. Y'all know we got the files. Idol Rodney and I see Desiree Joseph. We got some files. Well, it's sex, lies, and the local government commission. Why don't we start there, ladies and gentlemen? If you might allow us, if we might beg your indulgence, sex, lies, and the local government commission. A lot of people feeling sexy by the local government commission. Y'all sharing this live stream. Tag somebody if you know somebody who should be interested in this story. A lot of sexy business happening by the local government commission. And Nikolai Price name getting called. Now, this is the secretary of the local government commission. When we bust Nicholas files, we shame. When we bust Nicholas files, now there are some damning allegations of sexual harassment concerning Nicholas Price. And as our colleague Randolph Critchlow has said, we got to unpack this over a period of time. It's too much for tonight. We can just talk about Nicholas Price alone for the next hour. And so a staff member or two are complaining there that Nicholas Price, they are alleging, sexually harassed them on the workplace. And the more we are delving into this file, oh, Father of mercy, we got to write a book on this one. Look, some of y'all know y'all involved in wrongdoing. Don't waste the company time with big investigation all that. Right? You had a good run, pack up your traps, call it a day. Don't waste the people time. You know you are the company. And you trying to, everything you got for knock down, every food you want to eat, you get colic. Every food you see you want to eat there, you are going to get colic and die. The people now telling you, because people tired of your teeth in the food, harassing them for the food, they're saying, stop it. Right? The people have now got to send you on leave to facilitate some investigations. Oh, you know you're guilty as charged? Don't come back. Do not come back. Some of y'all wrong and strong, you know. wrong and strong, and God don't like ugly. So the more we read about Nikolai Price, the secretary of the local government commission, oh Father, the books that could be written, the books that can be written, local government commission. You know, I grew up hearing my parents saying, oh, this thing here tetanus. The women in the family would say, this situation, this thing here, this story, tetanus. You know, when they say what mean, this story is problematic, juicy and sweet, serious issues, but the information there, this one tetanus. The Nikolai Price story, folks, and I'm just going to skirt over some of it because we have the whole report of the allegation that was made against Nikolai Price of this alleged sexual harassment. As a matter of fact, we got two reports. Two reports we have concerning this issue here. And it doesn't look as though a lot of confidence is being reposed rather in this commission, because they have now sent Nikolai Price on administrative leave pending their investigations. And a lot of the staff we spoke with there have already told us that commission there, especially the PPP commissioners, there's whole one head, Julius Faber, chairman, Norman Whitaker, deputy chair, Carol Sober, y'all remember she's there too, Carville Duncan, Nicola Trotman is there, right? Commissioner Collymore is there, Commissioner Corlett is there, and Commissioner Ramashindo is there as well. Those are the person making up the local government commission. The majority are PPP commissioners, and the staff say that they repose little confidence about the trajectory or the direction in which this matter is going to go. Folks, this story touching us, because I am hearing, and I told you over a series of programs, we got to unpack this. I am hearing not only is there this allegation, but somebody at the local government commission, this story going bust out 9 months from now. 9 months from now, this story going to be evident for all to see. So there is one complainant about this sexual harassment. And then there's that other story that is developing there. You can take 9 months for that story to develop. Right? And then an individual will have to go to a health facility to get some tests to find out if this story belongs to this person or if this story belongs to the next person. Sex, lies, and the local government commission. It tetanus over there. And folks, as I said, I'm going to be unpacking more and more of this story. PPP come back. The PPP come back. Sex, lies, and the local government commission. They should be focused on local government elections, getting the NDCs and RDCs and the local government apparatus in tip-top shape. No. Over there is young and the restless. Is who chopping who knocking down who. Sex, lies, and the local government commission. We hear at one point, Nikolai Price, whole family turn up there. Yeah, they had a whole counseling session between Nikolai, his wife, the in-laws, was one bacchanal at the local government commission. But as I said to you folks, we are unpacking this issue. We got the files. We have the files. Let me let you know that we have the files. Let me, and just to let you guys know that I am bluffing, because I know some of y'all can think we bluffing here, but we've said on several occasions, we do our homework here. So we know that the young lady who was made a complaint about this sexual harassment, right? Her report was delivered to the commission on the 25th of October, 2021. The 25th of October, 2021, because I'm looking at it. She says, Dear Commissioner, she wrote to all of them with reference to the complaint against Mr. Nikolai Price, Secretary of the Local Government Commission for Sexual and Professional Harassment. And it's a four-page document. So we're going to be unpacking that. Another file I want to focus on is the Fazul Karambash file. Another file. And this should strike none of you by surprise who are regular viewers of the program here, because we have touched on this before. We have told you in the past, in the recent past, there was a report similar to Price. You see, when you're dealing with the PVP, it's one set of team. It's corruption, sex and lies. That theme has always undergirded the PVC administration. Right? They got a pharaoh who is going the interior and do a lot of damage. We can talk about him soon. But we spoke to you about Senior Superintendent of Police, Fazul Karambash, and that there were allegations by young officers in the Ghana Police Force against Mr. Karambash, who is now the head of SOCU. There's another pattern with PVP. The more dirtiness you involve in is the more promotion. The more dirtiness, the more promotion. This report against Mr. Karambash, and this report was done on behalf of the Police Service Commission. The heading of the report was alleged breaches of discipline. Alleged breaches of discipline was the heading of the report. And in the report to the Police Service Commission, this was said: regarding Senior Superintendent of Police, Fazul Karambash, it was revealed that though there were not enough evidence presented there was not enough evidence presented to disprove or discredit allegations against the senior superintendent that two female police trainees found his behavior towards them was of a sexual nature. I'm quoting from the report that was submitted to the Police Service Commission. I want to read it again. It says, there was not enough evidence presented to disprove or discredit allegations against the senior superintendent that two female police trainees found his behavior towards them to be of a sexual nature. Of a sexual nature. The report goes on, and I'll tell you why I'm coming back to this. The report goes on. It says, while from the information presented, there is enough prima facie evidence. When you look at it, on the face of it, you don't study it thoroughly. On the face of it, while from the information presented, there is enough prima facie evidence to support a criminal charge of sexual harassment, it is recommended, based on the circumstances and the sensitive nature of the matter, the senior superintendent Karambash be charged for acting in a manner likely to bring discredit on the reputation of the force. Now, clearly his superiors didn't put too much credence in this report because he was promoted as the head of Suku. But why did I bring this back up? Why did I bring this back up? Because information we have suggests that one of the young ladies who brought these allegations against the senior superintendent has been transferred to Soku to work. That is the information we have. We have the name, we have the badge number, we have all of that. But just like the report says, based on the sensitivity of the issue, now who in their right minds will allow that? Somebody who, and Soku is not a big place with 500 staff. Why would somebody send somebody who brought an allegation against a senior officer in the Ghana Police Force to work at the very entity that person is presiding over? But there has been a theme. There's a theme in this administration: corruption, sex, and lies. That is the consistent theme. Again, this is another one that we are looking at. Lots of information to get through. Lots of staff are complaining about the circumstances under which they have to work. And lots of staff there at Soku, they are saying it is not the people there who calling the shots. There is a senior government functionary who shouldn't be calling the shots there, but they have told us he is calling the shots at Soku. We have the information, we have to go through it, and we're going to bring it to you guys. We are going to bring it to you. GCOM gone. GCOM gone. GCOM gone. GCOM gone. We have additions to that list that we gave you guys the other night about the hires for GCOM. Those persons who want to be hired by GCOM. We got their files though. We have that list, folks. It's a big list. It's big. That itself is another hour of this program by itself. So look some of the faces on this list. This list got some guardians of democracy. Them men finished guarding outside. The one go inside now. They finished guarding outside. They want to go in now. Orwin Don Cook, Savita Richards, Monique Hernandez, Shawnette Alicia. Them boys want to go in. Right? Y'all remember this name? You folks who are always keen and all things political. Anil Giddings. You remember this IT guy? And the allegations that were made against Anil Giddings? There were allegations that he met some folks in the parking lot of GCOM and handed over something, that he met with PPP, high-ranking officials privately. There were allegations of him and the chairman of GCOM plotting, according to a release from the chairman, counteracting that allegation, plotting a plan to manipulate systems to ensure a certain party is declared winner. So Anil Giddings want to go up the ladder there at GCOM. He wanted to go up there. He wanted to go up the ladder. Interestingly, you remember we've been talking about Miss Barrow Giles? You remember that name? We've been talking about Barrow Giles. In their report, remember they were supervising the recount there? In their report, they mentioned Giddings. Here what they said of Giddings in that report. Hear what they said of Giddings in that report. quote unquote, GCOM was very clear that persons permitted in the recount center were assigned to specific areas of the center, as indicated. We did note that there were persons who were not authorized to be in the tabulation center, but Mr. Giddings tolerating. But whom Mr. Giddings tolerated? So he's tolerate people who are not supposed to be in certain places in GCOM. This according to the report. This is according to the report on the recount. And I told you there were allegations of, as Claudette Singh herself as chairman, y'all better share this live stream, said. As chairman, she talked about these allegations of a plan to manipulate systems to ensure a certain party was declared winner. She refuted those allegations, and I want to quote 2 paragraphs of that statement that was issued during that protracted period. She said, in this regard, I wish to emphatically state that I do not have knowledge of any such conversation, nor am I involved in any plot to ensure a particular party is declared winner of the 2020 election. So those rumors were rife, and there was actually a recording circulating. You imagine just the middle manager there, in so much confusion and controversy, you imagine putting him higher? Can you fathom that? Folks, things tight. Things are tight. Things tight. And they're getting more tight. Y'all remember Ashley promising us a pathway to recovery, economic dynamism, and resilience? Are we there yet? Just the other day, we told y'all food prices gone up by 14%. By 14%. We saw inflation at 5, 6, 7%. It means the same money you got buying less. Well, Timothy Tucker of the Georgetown Chambers of Commerce had some news for us today. He said things can get more tight. They're blaming the world markets and all manner of places. He said things can get more tight coming on to Christmas. Shortages are coming. Shortages are coming, ladies and gentlemen. And y'all want some more bad news? Not only will there be shortages for Christmas, oh Father, gold declined by 86 million. Gold declarations declined for the same corresponding period last year, 86 million. Even though the world price for gold is very high at the moment. Former Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Troutman, said on Twitter, with all the hype about roads and concessions being offered, this is passing strange. They like to boast what they've given the miners and the concession. With all of that, gold revenue, even though the world market is high, gold revenue locally has declined by 86 million US. 86 million US. Are we there yet with the economic dynamism and resilience? Gold revenues have declined by 86 million US. And we learned that we're borrowing like crazy. We are borrowing like crazy. And so the national debt, the public debt is going up and up and up. So your grandchildren owe money already that probably don't even borrow. Your children that don't even borrow owe money. Their children will owe money. The government is borrowing like crazy. We noted a report from the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB. We noticed a report that says for the corresponding period to last year, we have borrowed tenfold. In the corresponding period to, last year, we borrowed 5.6 million US dollars. It is 55 million US. Currently, we borrowing like crazy. So gold down, cost of living up, inflation up, and we borrowing up. Guyana is not a real place. Guyana is not a real place. And to prove it, Donald won't pray no more. He said, y'all stop praying in public places. He said, stop praying in public places. And Starbuck News is following suit. In an editorial just today, here what Starbuck News says about praying in public places. There should not be religious expressions at any of our state functions. This is according to Starbuck News. There should not be religious expressions at any of our state functions, and certainly not in our school. This is the devil talking here, you know. This is the devil talking here. And when you hear these things, you're going to say, get this Satan behind me. This is the devil talking. So Donald like prayers. Donald says scrap prayers at all government functions and institutions. You all understand why this country going down? You understand why this country is where it is? They don't like prayers. The PPP, the Communist Party, how they can like prayers? Ghana is not a real place. Donald says scrap prayers. Scrap it. Scrap it. According to Donald, he need prayers. The devil is a liar. Live from Lusiknan. Live from Lusiknan. Folks, y'all think it's easy in this country? Those of you in the diaspora living your life nice and quiet, y'all think it's nice in this country? This is a detainee, a prisoner at Lusiknan on social media. Oh, nothing irregular. Nothing irregular. To quote Laurie Alexander, who I used to watch all those years ago, nothing irregular. Nothing irregular. That is live from Lusiknan, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all better share the live stream. Y'all don't get complacent, you know. A lot of you ain't share the live stream yet. I want to see those emojis live. So like them boys is working there. Them boys get job and so on. The man showing off his money. This is Lusiknan prison. Right? The man smoking big. And showing off his water cash. Right? Now, if you're watching, if this gentleman is watching, I hope he partners with us. I hope he partners with us live from Lusiknan. Them boys live from Lusiknan. Folks, y'all think this country easy? Huh? In this country, you got to protect your peace. You got to protect your peace every day. Y'all understand why I want to till by the new planet? 23 million light years away. You understand why? These guys are live from the state prison on social media posting about the high living, the money they're making in jail and so on. Them guys can be watching us right now. A Stanley Bowman, if they're watching us right now, what you want to tell them? Irfaan, what would you tell them? Knowing they're watching us right now. Erica Hooper, what would you tell them? Michelle McKay, what are you going to say to those guys watching us live and direct from Lusiknan? Well, if that is not a shocker for you, Kapadio Gangadin, he gone back. You remember I told you all he left? This is a gentleman that killed young Chris Prasad there at Strathspey, the businessman. Left Lusiknan yesterday morning. Well, he gone back. He gone back now. He had left Alexis Arthur. And now he's back. Wendy Andrews and Michelle McKay and Michelle Williams. Big money making in jail. So the man must have gone back. He has reconsidered his life on the outside, his hard life. Things tight on the outside. Them boys inside look like businesses flourishing. So Kapadio Gangadin, who killed the young Chris Prasad there at Strathspey, the businessman, walked into the shop pretending he wanted to buy something. And Chris's father said he plunged a dagger in his neck. From the information we have, they both knew each other. Capaldio left Lusignan yesterday. The media said he escaped. He didn't escape, no way. He left. Well, he gone back now. They said he has been recaptured. He gone back. I sure when Capaldio saw his colleagues with the big wad of money and so on, he went back. Let me talk about some people who should be at Lusignan. The fraudulent government. As we head to our guests, let's talk about the fraudulent government who don't want to be called a fraudulent government. Folks, today Ali had a press conference. Well, y'all know, if Ali got a press conference, there's some drama going to happen. Why? Irfaan is just Irfaan. Irfaan is just Irfaan. I told you all that. You have a description for Melly Mel. People can tell you, don't cross Melly Mel. You know, she's a professional, mixed with a Rottweiler, what have you. They can tell you about Odessa Primus. Oh, God, don't get into confrontation with Odessa Primus. They can tell you even about Kelvin Allen, known as the poor people governor. They can tell you a whole set of stuff. Oh, he's a philanthropist and political activist and what's not. Oh, but Irfaan is Irfaan. Irfaan is just Irfaan. Folks, we want to show you a piece of that press conference. That demonstrates Irfaan is just Irfaan means he just defies description. He's his own description. When somebody tell you you're an Irfaan, he is his own description. That's how the man big. That is how the man big. Look, I told you folks, I was somewhere just today and somebody tell me, Duncan, the things you say, you got a lot of belly. You got a lot of belly. Irfaan got a lot of belly too. Irfaan is just Irfaan. So take a listen. Irfaan addressing the nation. Irfaan is just Irfaan.
And importantly, knowing the needs that we will have for personnel in the hospitality sector, we agreed with Barbados that they will support us.
I tell you all, Irfaan is a gift. Irfaan is a gift. It's a gift. Irfaan is just Irfaan. Some of you might have missed that. Take another look and a listen. Touch Huzzy. Tell him watch. Hunch Huzzy. Like Begadi. Hunch him. Watch.
And importantly, knowing the needs that we will have for personnel in the hospitality sector, we agreed with Barbados that they will support us.
Yep. Irfaan is just Irfaan. Everything in this conference, everything in the press conference coming soon. Everything in the press conference, ladies and gentlemen, was coming soon. Pay for public servants, coming soon. He told us that about a month ago. Was a big headline in the paper. He had to go to the press conference to talk again. Everything coming soon. And things that didn't coming soon were being copied. What was not coming soon was being copied. The man following Harmon. Harmon had a fancy background the other day. Irfaan got in the background. Irfaan is just Irfaan. The color you're seeing here is blue, but in actuality, this background here is purple. They say Irfaan got a purple background too. Yes, we petty. He got with this like he told them, get that background for me. Harmon must not be looking that good by himself. I want the background. They went with the background. They went and stole the background. Well, the question was asked, like Irfaan, little schizophrenic. Like Irfaan, little schizophrenic. Irfaan has been adamant for the last year. He is not meeting with Harman until Harman get down on his knees, tell him he is slim, and says that the government is duly elected. Those were the preconditions. Harman has been adamant. You are an installed government. You did not get to where you are by legitimate means. We saw what was in the ballot boxes on the East Coast alone. Or what wasn't in those ballot boxes. We saw. Irfaan has been on that point at every turn. You ask him about the leader of the opposition. He said, no, I'm not talking to him unless he gets on his knees. He says, I'm slim. And he says, my government is legitimate. But like he didn't take the medications today because there was an about turn today. Folks, I'm hastening on to my guest. There was an about turn today. And I want to share that with you guys. It left a lot of people scratching their heads asking, what happened in here? Like one gun. One gun. So I want you to take a listen to Irfaan at today's press conference. Just the last press conference about 3 months ago, they are so infrequent. There are no press briefings, no cabinet press briefings, and the press conferences with Irfaan, they are so few and far in between. We wish there were more of that, more of them. So again, from this staunch position of I'm not meeting with him, suddenly he wants to meet. You know why? I'll tell you why on the other side. I will tell you why on the other side. Share the damn live stream. I'll tell you why on the other side.
Why is it that I have to work around Mr. Harman? I don't understand this. Why is it I have to work around Mr. Harman? I play the tape of this man who has absolutely no respect for anyone, including the court, making damaging statements, and then I am called to ask why I don't work around him. Well, I don't know how I work. I don't know. First of all, our position in relation to Harman is very clear. I play the tape. Instead of doing what is right, he has now gone totally outraged. Not only the executive now, but at the judiciary also. Not only the executive now, at the judiciary also, but 3 separate arms of government. I can speak for the executive, and I've spoken for the executive. Let me be very clear. As I said, I am fully committed to abiding by every aspect of the Constitution. There is no precondition to fulfilling my mandate in accordance with the Constitution. But there is an issue, and this is outside of that mandate in relation to my constitutional role, where you have someone who is continuously saying that this government is illegitimate. So he has a moral problem. How does he explain talking to some government he is claiming is illegitimate? That's his moral problem. And that would expose his duplicity. That would expose his duplicity, and I think that is his problem. But I am very committed and totally committed to the Constitution. Whatever the Constitution requires me to do, I will do. Anything this president does will be in line with the Constitution. You can go to bed and sleep comfortable, enjoy the best of dreams, knowing that in reality, you have a president that will do everything in keeping with the Constitution of the Republic of Guyana.
Thank you, sir.
Why is it that I have to work around?
That is not how I remember things, you know. Like, I remember things a little different, right? Because I remember that this same president who will do everything in line with the Constitution, same Jagabat, swearing Onage, knowing full well Onage was a dual citizen, same president, same duplicitous hypocrite, said he will not reach with Mr. Harman. And now when the international pressures, when Uncle Sam knee on the neck, duplicitous, hypocritical, hypocrite Ali, he makes an about turn. Oh, it's Harman fault. This hypocrite and this hypocrite, adamant, obdurate, I will not meet with him unless they recognize me. Same fella. And now he wants to swing as oh, Harman has a moral issue because he doesn't recognize me as legitimate president. How will he meet with me as leader of the opposition? I want to fulfill my constitutional mandate. It's constitutional mandate we are trying to fulfill. That is why they went and do all the nonsense with the constitutional agency, and Roxanne, George Wiltshire, drop a jumbie lash in them and said, y'all are unconstitutional with that move. Get from here. These are the same folks who have the two permanent secretaries sitting illegally in the National Assembly. Again, Roxanne George told them, that's madness. Same people. Same duplicitous. Irfaan, are we having local government elections this year as is mandated by the Constitution, Irfaan? I will abide by the Constitution. I am the only president who abides by the Constitution. Nonsense. Are we having local government elections this year as is mandated by the Constitution? Irfaan. That being said, folks, I want to shift gears. He know who to run him to. Those journalists, listen, y'all got to do some more homework. Our journalists got to do some more homework. Come on, guys. Put some question to these guys. Don't let the tech make me nothing. Getting ready to shift gears at our end, folks. Got my guests in studio already, and I think they are fired up. I think they are ready to go. We're going to be talking about the PNCR 2021. Yep. The road to the 21st Biannual Delegates Congress. That is going to be part of our focus this evening, guys. Give us a couple seconds and we're going to be right back, right out. Take a breather. All right. I know y'all impatient. There's nobody like these ring silence, you know. I hope y'all sharing the live stream. I hope so. Folks, I got my guests in the room and I'm ready to go. They are here looking handsome, looking pretty, looking well. Folks, without any further ado, I want to invite, let me invite none other than the poor people governor. He was born Kelvin Allen. He is gone now, poor people governor. Listen to me, I'm gonna be a fan this evening. I'm gonna be a little fancy this evening because these are some of the folks out there who I can't lie. I admire them. In their own right, I admire them. So I'm gonna be a little fancy tonight. Y'all don't bother with me too much. Right? All right, so I give to you guys the man who dubs himself the poor people governor. Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Great to have you. Welcome in the ring. I think this is the first time. So privileged to have you, sir.
It's the first time in the ring, and I'm ready to fight. I'm fired up.
Great. I am happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. I like the song to that. All right. Let me make sure I grab the other folks. And I do have with me as well the one and only Odessa Primus, who got all dressed up for us this evening. I'm so grateful.
Mm,
Good to see you. I am waiting to
good evening.
see Melly Mel's camera. I hope she's joining us via video because I don't know if we're going to be able to bring in her audio alone. I hope so. Melly Mel, I see her. She's in the back. She's in the green room, the virtual green room. I'm going to wait to see her camera is hot there, and then we're gonna get going. Let me just move this little thingy out of Odessa's hair, these birds and so forth. Good to see you guys. How are you guys doing? Let's start with
Good.
Miss Primus.
I'm great actually. Very, very tired. You know, I had another engagement. You had me running here like I on rollerblades to get to the program.
You said you got engaged. Sorry, I'm not clear on that.
Ah, you should consider being a comedian yourself.
Governor, how are you, sir?
As usual, I'm enjoying every moment of it, and I want to know how could you put together such a team? Tonight team, tonight team. I was amazed.
Well,
But
I'm
I'm
happy
fired
that
up.
you guys are here. I see Melly Mel. She's in the green room. I'm holding for her video. But guys, I'm certain by now you guys have had a chance to listen to the main candidates. Well, the candidates for the candidates thus far for PNCR leader, and you had a chance to listen to them, hear their plans for the PNCR. The PNCR is an institution in this country. It has been so for a long time. For those who are now joining, they have internal elections coming up, and so we've been covering some of that from our end. Thus far, in no particular order, what did you think? Anything stood out to you about the candidates, their plans in particular?
I think the candidates that present themselves are
And
qualified.
we've had Mr. Aubrey Norton, we have had Mr. Richard Van West Charles, and we've had Mr. Joseph Harmon, who've been in the public, who have declared that they are contending for leader of the PNCR, and they've been making their rounds on social media and in underground in communities and villages and towns. Right ahead.
I was fortunate enough to attend a lot of conferences with those guys, where they shared what they intend to do for the party and how they intend to take the party into the 21st century. I am to the belief that the PNC is the only party that, or the PNC APNU is the only party that represents majority of the people, that have that people have a voice and a representation. And it's very important. This election is very important that we select a leader that will take us into the 21st century and not to play politics with the leadership of the party, because we see what that has done for us in the past. I think we should examine the candidates, what they have to offer, and make the right decision to get a leader that will take us into the 21st century. We see Mr. Joe Harmon has present himself, Dr. Van West Charles, and Mr. Aubrey Norton. At this point, I'm not endorsing anyone, but I'm paying keen attention to the race because one of my main concerns is the behavior patterns of these candidates and how they
Mhm.
intend to put themselves out as leaders, how they deal with the pressure of campaigning, if they will tear each other apart to become the leader. That is very serious. That is a very serious point, because at the end of the day, each one of these guys have a strength that the PNC needs, and we
I
must
love
not be
that you've said
fooled.
that.
We cannot give the PPP any ammunition to use against our candidates. They may have dogs of wars or whoever they may have campaigning on behalf of them, and the campaign must be clean. Because we're not campaigning against the PvP. We're campaigning against ourselves for the leadership, and it must be done in a very, very clean and professional way. And I believe that these guys are mature enough to accept the results and work together for the betterment of Guyana.
Great, and I'm certain, Governor, that there are a lot of PNC members just like you who are not ready to jump on any one of the campaigns as yet, but to size up the candidates. And that's why I'm so really heartened that Aubrey Norton and Richard Van Der Charles and Mr. Joseph Harmon have availed themselves very publicly. And I'm certain this is of a difference because clearly you don't see this on the other side. The people who want to talk about democracy, right, and transparency and all that, they got a very, very clouded, shrouded process. Odessa.
Hi, good evening again. I would first of all like to say that when it comes to politics in Guyana, be it the APNU, be it the PNC, the AFC, or the PPP, I believe that it is our business. And the reason I have been paying keen attention is because whether you're in government or in opposition, you're responsible for making decisions that govern me, that governs my family, that governs my community. And as a result of that, I think it is extremely important for us to look at the candidates and to think deeply and not just go with a particular quality that we see that we like, but look at candidates holistically. And I believe that I have thus far been doing that because this week we would have heard from at least the three contesting candidates thus far. And I kind of feel as though I'm starting to see who I believe might be the best candidate, though I'm not sure that I've made a firm decision. And I must also make it very clear that I am not a member of the PNCR. I will not be voting. I don't have no party card or whatever it is. And I noticed somebody on social media today was saying that what makes us capable of discussing political issues, since we apparently don't have whatever it is that qualifies you to do that. But as a citizen of this country, I am qualified to speak on the opposition, and I'm qualified to speak on the government as well.
I'm happy you have said that because by virtue of just being a citizen qualifies you to pronounce on political matters. Look, that 14% increase in food prices locally, political decisions are going to have to affect that one way or the next. So
Right.
political consequences touch all of our lives in this country. That inflation rate, thanks to the PVP, 6 and 7%. Political decisions led to that. So, all of us are involved, as the late great poet Martin Carter, our national poet, would have said. All are involved and all are consumed. And by just being Guyanese and citizens, that qualifies us to pronounce on political matters.
Correct.
It's only election day, you cast your vote and then you close your eye.
Right.
That being said, guys, now in a very general sense, and not only in the context of this race, but people who are considering choosing people for leadership, what qualities would you say they should be looking for? Without identifying any specific candidate, what qualities do you think they should be looking for in a leader on all sides, I would say?
I'm personally, I have my thing that I'm looking for, and as like many Guyanese, we want a leader that understands the people, listen to the people, and most importantly, must be in touch with the people. We cannot allow to have a leader that do he thing when he wants and how he feels. Like, it's the people all the time. And just to draw a reference, the no confident motion that got the whole PNC and the whole party in an uproar, if we was in touch with the people, we couldn't avoid that.
we're talking about those internal ones or that one in 2018. Just to be clear.
Not internal. The 2018 one.
Good.
We was out of touch with the people. And even
Your volume has left.
am I there?
Yes.
The fact that we have experienced candidates, well experienced candidates that we have a choice to make in a democracy. I feel that like Odessa, I may like a candidate, but I'm looking still because it's important. They must be leaders. They have to present that quality. I don't want a leader that is going to be, if someone's called them out for something, they must show leadership, not to return and be out and cuss out in the public, but they must show leadership. Because most of the time, the leader becomes the president most of the time. So he must conduct himself in a leadership quality. That's for me in a leader.
Odessa?
Yes, I'm here. Well, I look for a number of things. First and foremost, I want to see what your life was like before you decided to run for leadership. What capacities have you served in? How effective have you served in those capacities? What experiences? What do you have to show? And that is a big question that I guess very many times a lot of people don't look for. You might like a particular quality that a man has, but he really has done nothing, and he has no experience in doing anything, and that for me is a problem. There must be things that we can readily point to and say, listen, that man built this building, that man helped in this specific community with community development. Both, well, I'm not certain as it relates to Mr. Van West, but I do know about Aubrey and Joe would have both held positions in the party. And it is easy for us to go back to see what areas have they served in and how well have they served in those areas in their personal life. What career choices did they have? How successful were they in their career? And those sorts of things. So it makes a lot of sense to really step back and to look into people's lives and to look at their accomplishments, because one of the things, and I guess not very many people talk about it, is your ability to generate income. Because while in opposition, it is significantly more difficult to generate income. And I want to look at these people and see who is the person that is capable of raising money to get things done for their people while in opposition. What are you capable of generating, and how effective are you at spending and budgeting those monies that you would have been able to generate and those sorts of things? Because I personally don't want no poor man leader with no poor man mentality. It is about bringing people out from where they are economically, whether or not you're in government or in opposition. It is about bringing people from their current economic state to another level. And if you're unable to do that, I ain't too mindful. It is also, while it is important, and I don't wish to underscore it by any means, it is important to have a leader who you're able to talk to and who you're able to reach and to interact with and all these sorts of things. But it is also important to have somebody who is effective, because I don't want to meet nobody who gonna come and tell me two nice words. It's better get a boyfriend. Come and tell me two nice words, and then you beat out and you can't get anything done for me. You know what I mean? You must be able to do whatever it is that the people really need to ensure that needs are met and not just conversations are had and people are just mingling about the place and that sort of thing. That absolutely can't work for me. Vision is extremely important for me as well, because while very many people are inclined to support who they deem their friend or a friend of a friend, my position is I am looking for somebody who before I make this point, I'd like to add, and I didn't say this in the beginning, but I just like to throw this out there now, that initially my support, in terms of candidate, would have gone to perhaps one of the younger people. So let me just throw this out there. I'm inclined to support a Roysdale Ford. I'm inclined to support a Christopher Jones. You know, those younger grouping of people. But now that we're here at this juncture, which is not particularly the juncture that I would have liked to see the party at, um, I think that we need to look deeply into the character, sorry, of the leaders, and really make that decision, and not who could just come out there and talk a mouthful of fluff, and just leave you high and dry. You might as well get a boyfriend.
Very, very, very frank. You raised the point, Odessa, about young people. Are you guys expecting to see a lot of young people, taking up or at least throwing their hat into the race? I know that lots of them might be undecided. Do I want to compete for some posts here? What are your own expectations where that is concerned?
Well, I'm actually hoping that they do take up that mantle. I haven't I don't know if I missed it on your show when Mr. Norton was here the last time, but I'm not sure that I heard on that interview who some of the prospective persons are that would be supporting him. But I do know because
I
Mr.
think we have Melly Mel with us. If she can get her a little bit more light, I don't know what's
She
happening
got
there.
blackout.
But we are going to hold.
Good night, Gerard.
Right ahead.
So yes, now I was saying that I don't know who are the persons that are the young people, sorry, that are supporting Mr. Norton, but I do know that Mr. Harman would have listed a number of young people, be it MPs, and so forth, who are supporting him. But I guess it's early, so let us see how it goes. But I am definitely inclined to support the younger group of people.
Governor?
One of the young MPs that I admire dearly is Mr. Manzo Walton Azir.
And who you have
And
endorsed?
endorsements tonight, but I will be doing.
Okay.
I honestly
Your volume gone
in
again.
the ring.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
why.
good.
Am I
That's
there?
good. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think she thrown her hat in the ring, but she have said openly, if nominated, she will serve.
Yeah.
And I really and truly respect that. And I think that I see on social media that they're champion for her to be the chair, which is a very key position. And I honestly will endorse her for that chair if she accepts the nomination. Why I would say the chair. The chair is important, and I want to raise a point. And I've learned lately that the leader appoints the GS. I really thought the GS position was a position
Elected.
where you elect that person. And the constitution of the PNC should change. They should do some reform with that position. That position would always be a compromise position. So the only balance we have to power would be the chairman's position. That is the position now which would bring a balance. And I feel with the leaders, whoever emerges as a leader, Amanza or whoever wins the race for young persons for the chair would be a plus and a go ahead. I honestly believe that young people should take a more role and come out boldly, step up to the plate, because at the end of the day, it's the young people got to carry the party, and the young people who got to keep the party together, and the young people is who beaten the PVP in Parliament and got Mistress, not Mistress, Gail. Got she smoking packs of cigarette, especially Danish, putting some licks in. The young people, and I feel that the young people in the party, and we're hearing a lot of young people from these candidates. And when they get into power, they forget about the youths. we can hold them accountable. They just can't say young people and use the young people to win the votes, and then they forget about the youths. I honestly believe that
Important point. Very important point.
yeah, they can't, they come and champion for youths, and youths gonna be this and youths gonna be that and youths this and youths that. And when they get into power, they forget about youths. And they only appoint who they choose to appoint as friends and what's not. So we're gonna hold them accountable for that.
Can I say something to that,
Jump in.
Sherrod?
Jump in.
Well, two things. One, I believe that that youth should not be the only qualifying factor. And when I say my preferences for one of the younger people, I am also of the belief that these people have what it takes to lead. And so it's not that I'm just looking at youth or younger than what we are currently seeing. And the other thing too, I have noted, I think it was on Mark, I think it was on Mark last night, that Roysdale more or less hinted that he too would be running for the chairmanship of the party. And to speak to what what the poor people governor would have said a few minutes ago, I think that the GS position is reserved for the leader because of the relationship and the way in which they would need to work together. It's not that I necessarily believe that that is the way it should be, but I'm inclined to understand why it is that way, because there's certain things, if you have to do it with somebody, you'd prefer to work with somebody that you're comfortable with, and it's easy, that would make your work easier. So I can see why, it's necessary to have that person be selected rather than elected.
Great. Great. You wanted to jump in there?
Okay, I wouldn't agree with that position being that position should be a elected position. I honestly believe that that position is a very key position, and the leader should not have that access and that privilege to persuade or make any. That should be independent. It shouldn't be a position where he controls. That's my honest belief.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying
Well, that's the
the
thing with
chair.
democracy, that you're entitled to the different views, and that's why I was listening to you earlier. And I'm saying that the thing is with democracy is that everybody may not come out happy, but what is important is that at the end of the day, that we all move in a positive direction. People are saying, oh, when this thing is over, this body gonna leave and the body gonna leave. People is getting the feelings all the time. You can't stop that. But at the end of the day, anybody who has the interest of their party at heart will, even if they stay away a couple of days and the vex and the swell up and the cuss up and whatever, they can come back. Because it's not a self-serving thing. It's about serving the people. And if you went there with the aim to serve the people and somebody upset you and you just walk away, then, you might need to examine your reason for coming in the first place.
I think it's the nature of party elections. Your candidate doesn't win, people are vexed, people are upset, but then that moment passes. But the question I wanted to ask is, you guys I'm certain have been talking with folks about the campaign. I think I heard Governor said early on, he hoped that it doesn't get too much mudslinging. What are people telling you, whether about the campaign, the platforms, the plans of the candidate? I know, Governor, you're in the diaspora. What are you hearing out there?
There's a definite sound for Mr. Norton on social media. Everywhere you turn, you hear Mr. Norton, you hear Mr. Norton, and there's certain persons feel that Mr. Harmon was in leadership. Anyhow,
I don't know.
Yeah, to me.
I don't want to get into that. To be honest.
Oh, so I think what you're trying to say is that persons have the preferences. Either way.
And persons have preferences to choose which candidate they need to choose or which candidate they believe that can do the job. And I put it out there to examine the candidates. Examine, like Odessa said, you examine your candidates, take a good look into the background, what they have done for the party, where they've taken the party from, how often how often times they would have interacted with the public and the kind of stuff, and make a strong choice for the leadership of the party, because this election for the PNC, to me, is a win and break situation, because people are in that kind of mood. And I think the leader in this time to the 21st century that is going to take us there has to be strong. He has to be willing to work with everyone, win, lose, or draw. He has to be willing to work, and he must be a people's person and able to bring the party, unify the party. That must be his goal, to unify the party, bring them together, and make the PNC be who they used to be, fighting for the rights of people, and not sitting back and allowing all these nonsense happening to our people. We got to go
I
back to the days where the PNC was the PNC, the days when Comrade Walter Lawrence was championing for the people. I could remember in '92. I know Cathy Hughes went off, but Cathy Hughes was a powerhouse. I could remember those days with Aubrey Norton, and we used to fight at every given time. We never used to lay back and accept these things that are happening now. We stood in the streets until justice served. Stand at the court until justice served. I want to see that PNC. I want to see the fight in the PNC. It was missing for some time. I'm not saying go out on the road and do nonsense, but I'm saying when it comes for a cause, we must be ready to stand up for it. That is my thing.
Odessa is gonna jump in. I just know it.
Yeah, I know it too. Um, well, I again, I would like to say that this is why I love democracy so much, because I'm allowed to enjoy a different view. And I believe that while the PNC has been known as a party that fights, and I believe that they have what it takes to fight, to put up a good opposition, a great opposition. I think it's also important to note that the times and the tide has changed, and so fight may not be what it was in the 80s. Fight may not be protest. Fight may not be, whatever it was that was done then. And I think that we have got to condition our minds to understand that the fight will now come with great strategy. So it's not about the strongest person physically who could go and run around and gallivant and so on, but it's about finding somebody with the intellect to sit down and to construct, with a team, ideas and visions that will take the party forward. There's a time for noise. There's a time to argue and to carry on, but there's a time also for constructive thinking and decision making. And I think that that is one of the key things that should be thought about while deciding who your candidates should be. You see, the thing is, with very many people, we inclined to go with what somebody else say. We're not inclined to look at the candidates to themselves and to understand. And that's why, let me tell you, Sharad, if you were paying attention to me on social media, the thing that I kept saying all the time is that the younger people should go. And I mentioned that earlier. But now that we're here at this juncture, you would have interviewed the three candidates that came forward thus far. I would like to start with Mr. Van West Charles. Um, I did look at his interview, and what is a good thing to say? Uh, okay, so let's move on for Mr. Van West. He probably it was difficult for me to find and to understand and to connect with him. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I lack the ability to connect with Mr. Van West. And so I don't know that I want to underscore him on that, because I might need to look back at this. Um, I looked at Mr. Norton and his first sets of appearances, and I think that that he brought a lot of energy, and I'm what I thought was missing though is a team. And even though he by himself has made himself to be quite a mammoth, and he is capable of doing very many things, I would have liked to see a team, a consolidated effort, in terms of leadership, because I would have been paying attention on social media, and I see a lot of people complain about what they perceive David Granger to have been doing in terms of functioning by himself. And if you wanna move away from that, and of course that may not necessarily be my opinion, then I think that you need to look at not I but we, and the person who says we is somebody to look at. At least that's one thing you can check off on the list. um, I did not like Mr. Harmon's launch at all. I just thought it was a little dreary, very dreary. And I was there commenting up and down in the comment section. But I looked at your show, the interview, and I felt like he came with a lot of energy in that. I don't know if he had too energy, drink a Red Bull or whatever, a Lucozade, but on that interview, he appeared different, and he appeared to have more strength and zeal, and I guess he spoke more to his plans and so on, as we would have seen other people doing earlier. But he was very detailed in that. And I like that. But I believe that at this point, you have to really look, because me, for example, when the race started, I thought Mr. Norton started with a lot of what people needed to hear. And then I don't know that I see a lot of that now. And I didn't like Mr. Harmon's beginning, but I like where he is now. And of course, these are things that might be subject to change based on how people come, because it's not just about being excited and so on. And one of the things I want to say, because I'm not seeing the comment section, Sherrod, and they're free to get very much upset and in the feelings with me tonight, but I couldn't find two Arctic Fox to give. Um, and I mean the animal.
Late night, late
And
night.
right, no, an Arctic Fox is actually a thing. But let me tell you something. I have noticed, me for example, I commented on Mr. Harmon's live, the first one, not the interview with you, the launch, and I was against a lot of what was being said. And everybody applauded me for being against what was said. And then when he came onto your show, and I was happy with some of the things that he said. And I said, this is a good point or whatever. People jumped down my throat. You support any? You think why am I not allowed to have an opinion? Explain to me. Why are you free to support your candidate, and well, not me, because I not voting for anybody, but why other people not free to share their opinion? Leave the people alone. You're entitled to yours, and you have to respect that they're entitled to theirs. That is not how a democracy should work. People shouldn't be attacking people in the comment section. Oh, this person is saying this, and it don't make any sense, and so on. If you have facts that are contrary to what that person is saying, supply them with that facts. You don't need to attack people. They're entitled to their opinion. They're entitled to their views, and that is what a democracy is about. Give the people the right to choose.
Yep. Governor, you
Um,
you you, you want to jump in there?
Uh, I don't want to I like Odessa how she articulate around the three candidates. Uh, I don't have that privilege like her to get into it with the candidates. The most I can say to persons out there, they have a choice to make, and that's democracy. And the thing is, the choice is going to be clear for some people, and some people are going to just choose because they like a person. And we're going to reach back into the same
unfortunately,
problems like we always stop
unfortunately, I
choosing
like
who
that.
you like and who you friends with and choose the right person for the job. Because
Right,
we at a point right now, we have to get a leader that can take us to the 21st and beat the PPP and regain office. Not power, but office. Because power gets to people and it gets out of hand. Let us get
right.
the office of the president and construct the people business. Give everybody the good life that APNU started. We see for 23 odd years the torture and the with the Jagabats. We see what they put me through. And just for five, I won't even say five, 3 and some short years, I was proud to jump on social media and call myself the governor and shout out loud and tell Jaggy, he's a, and so forth and so forth. I
Yeah,
travel,
sorry.
hide, going to Barbados and Trinidad. You got your passport, you put it in your pocket, you reach up to the counter. You don't want the next person behind you see as Guyanese. You was afraid. And we see what the country have developed into, and we want to take it back there. And the only way we can do that is by getting the PNC and by extension APNU on board so that we can take the country back and produce the good life that was promised to us. We all got we differences of opinion when it comes to the former president. Everybody got their own opinion. My opinion of him is that he did more good than bad. So I ain't gonna sit nowhere to beat him. Because they self-appoint Ali and they ain't beating he where he could do whatever, they ain't beating he. Jabby running about the place left, right, and center doing all man's of corruption and nonsensical nonsense. Them ain't beating he. So I can't beat up none of the leaders of my party.
Who
None.
can I ask a question? I know I'm not interviewing, but who are you referring to is not beating him? You mean the PPP is not beating Ali? That's what you meant?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay.
I mean, the PvP is not beating up on their leaders.
On their own, yeah.
You don't see them beating up.
Yeah. Regardless,
Right.
and I mean, we've
We
talked
learn
about that on this program. Regardless of what they do, you knock down people. There's the allegation of corruption at the Amerindian affairs involving the PS. Files at DPP waiting. They protect their own. We
But
have a different modus operandi.
Sherrod, if I can say something to that, I think that in very many instances, even though it's the opposition's job to hold the government accountable, we also have a responsibility as a people. It is our job also to hold the government accountable, to hold the opposition accountable. And that's why when I look at people who say, oh, the MP is not doing this, the government not doing that, some minister not doing this. My thing is, are we just going to complain, or are we going to find ways to hold these people accountable? Because what has to be done has to be done. It makes no sense complaining because it's not going to get done. Complaining, I mean, okay, fine, we're entitled to complain. Me, I complain about Frank till my throat dry, and people dying left, right, and center. But at the end of the day, we need to find, and that's why I would like to go back to what I said earlier about finding a leader who is able to sit and strategically plan these things. Because how are we going to hold these people accountable? Doing what? And that those are the kind of things that I think needs to be, right up top here when we're deciding who a good leader should be for the party.
Yeah, and look, I think just being able to have this discussion tells us where we are as a people, tells us where we are as political parties that are consistently evolving, because the previous generation had nothing like this, right? For the rest of us who belong to other political parties, you just know, oh, the PNC had a Congress and they elected X person. But again, because it's a coalition now, you have all these parties, and because of technology and progress, right? We get to come into this age where the candidates come on social media. To reach 6,000 people in the past, that was 2 weeks walking around village to village, money and all that. You can come in social media and in 1 hour talk to 6, 7, 10,000 persons, right? By the morning, 25, 30,000 persons will look back at this very interview. So it's about working hard. It's about working smart. It's about using all of the tools at your disposal. And again, I'm so heartened that these candidates have come on board. They have come very publicly with their plans. I think that is on all of their behalf. That's a recognition that we're in a different time and a different age. The PPP seems to want to take us back to pre-2015, to those dark days, but we're in a different time, a different age.
I agree. But Sherrod, on that, I'd like to say that accountability is something, again, I would have said it earlier, but accountability is something that is extremely important during this period. So I'm just hoping that, that these are things that start to stimulate our thinking.
Accountability means what? When you say that? What do you mean? Accountability is important.
Sure, the word says what it means, holding the people accountable for what has to be done, or what your expectations or what the right things are, in terms of taking the country forward. And
Oh,
so
great,
when I
great.
speak to accountability, I also speak to asking questions. I also speak to investigating, to checking. We have this issue now with the IDB and all this money borrowing. The government needs to show the people what they have done, with this, how much ever $1 billion, because I don't talk past a couple 100,000. So when we start talking billions, I get kerfuffled. And so, to hold them accountable, we've listened to the three candidates thus far. It's not just about listening to them. Let's go and let's do some research. Let's find out. Let's talk to people, and not people who support this side and not that side. People who are able to give sound judgment. I ask questions all the time, but say, oh, she's serious. Listen, I have questions. And if you are going to be leading me, because the leader of the opposition is not only leading the APNU supporters, the government is not only supposed to be a government for the PPP supporters. Both parties, they're there to represent the people. And at the end of
Correct,
the day, the
correct.
people need to be able to ask questions. Why I can't
Yeah.
ask a man
And I'm
something? Who is
telling you,
he?
if the folks on the other side had a truly transparent process like this to perhaps elect their leaders, we didn't meet at Irfan.
No,
We
but
didn't
let me
learn at
tell you this,
Irfan.
Sherrod. I was very involved on social media in the PP elections because Irfan wasn't me pick. I was a better person when Irfan won because he was not. People were saying, "Why are you so invested in what the PP do and all this? Why am I not supposed to be invested?
No, no. But the
Whoever
point
they
I'm
elect was
making, if
supposed
we
to be the
heard
leader of the
Irfan,
of the country,
if
huh?"
we heard Irfan in this democratic way in which the PNC is engaging their elections, if we heard from him, then we'd know Irfan can't talk for save his life publicly,
Right.
right? And he would
Yeah,
have
but
gone
we
by the
learned we
wayside
learned
long.
too.
Yep.
We
He
learned
would have
too.
left us in a lot of uncertainties.
We learned that Irfan was not elected but was appointed.
Mhm.
I didn't
However true
learn.
that be, and then we
You.
learned that
Mm.
Yeah.
Nandalal was upset. There was the talk of the tongue. He was upset about it. And when a journalist asked him for a comment, he said no comment.
He told a
He
lie.
didn't get
Well,
out
well,
there and
one thing we know the results of their last Congress, and we know Irfan wasn't even the top 6 or 7, right? I think was Frank Anthony got the one of the highest
Well,
votes,
listen, Sharad, take a pen.
and
Look
so
at
on.
God. Look at God. Well, let me tell you something. He
Tell
was
me.
on the last of my list. And looking at him functioning now at the COVID center,
You regret
at the
it.
Ministry of Health, sorry, at health.
You regret it.
Listen, I didn't want Frank at all who in dead, badly wounded. I not about that life at all. So, now that you mentioned Frank, I appreciate Irfan a bit more. I'm sorry. Just saying.
But no, but that's the point I'm making. Had we, talk what you want to talk. We talk about candidates who might be getting a little too, rowdy or what have you. That is natural in the electoral process. I don't know what people are worried about. The fact that you guys are, that the candidates are out here, willing to talk to people says a lot. That's not
I
something
want
that
to see
you
the true
see.
colors.
Right? That's not something that you see. One time the guys on the other side fighting for half secret ballot. And then the next time the man said you have to show your hand. They know what they want. And it's just that's the nature of the people. One time Irfan don't want to meet with her, and next time they're all over the place. But we have a process here that these candidates have put themselves on the line, are exposing themselves to the people as they should. This is the nature of politics. You gotta like people and you gotta want to meet and talk to people. And they're demonstrating that. They're demonstrating that. And I say kudos to all of them who have done so and who will do so. That says to me that you have started 20 miles ahead of your competitor on the other side, politically, by just being able to demonstrate that.
important for
Your
the
volume
candidates
gone
as
again.
well.
It is back.
It's
Go,
important for it's
go
important
ahead.
for the candidates as well um, present themselves in a like in a nutshell to give us one crack at it. We noticed like Odessa said she couldn't she was kind of with Dr. Van West. I was there too. Honestly, I was there. I was following, his presentation, and then for some reason I was lost somewhere along the line. I asked a lot of questions on that. Was the only program probably I asked him a lot of questions because I was really leaning towards him with his presentation. So I asked him a lot of questions, but I was lost in some kind of a way. But we ain't gonna underscore that, But the candidates present themselves, and the delegates will vote.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be a delegate, so that's why I don't want to speak too much to thing. And I'm also a chair of a group, so I am here as the governor, and I don't want them to quote me or hold me to anything I say on the program. So I should have given a thing from beginning.
We understand that caution. We understand that
right.
that
Whatever
caution.
I say, I'm responsible for, but I'm not responsible for what the Jagabats they interpret. They interpret things and put it how they want. I am only responsible for what I say. Your interpretation. Some of them ain't really be in big school,
No. And they were IFLAT and so on, drop out and so forth. Then
so the
they went far.
interpretation, you gotta be very careful with them. They just twist your words and that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm tiptoeing a kind of a bit. Odessa would back me up because she's more frank. She can spit it out and let she have it. Odessa.
Guys, your thoughts as we're winding up the program here. I'm noting the time as to where you see or where you have the candidates, and that aside, where do you want to see this institution that is the PNCR heading post conference, post Congress? Don't all speak at once.
I would like to see a leader emerge out of this. I would like to see a leader with a good direction in leading the party. I would love to see the chair being occupied by competence. The party is well on its way to success with this, because this is what everybody's calling for. Congress. Congress is here. We're going to do what it takes to elect. Yeah, Congress is here. We're going to elect a leader. We're going to put somebody in the chair that is competent. We're going to get the PNC back on the road again to success. And I urge all of my comrades who have felt that they were neglected and who have felt whatever kind of way you have felt that you have moved off for some reason, probably you're just taking a Santana or whatever the case is, come back on board. This is the time. This is the time to fire up the party. And we can do it. We have competence in the PNC. We have it. When we take a look at the three candidates alone together, put them three together, to blow up the PVP any day, anyway, anytime. We have the competence. So I'm urging you guys to take a very good look at the candidates, select a candidate that can carry straight into the future, and by extension, getting a grip on the PVP and stopping them in the dirty act and the racial discrimination and the wild spending and the fancy life that they intend to continue living. Let's put a stop to this and bring accountability to Guyana. We deserve it. We deserve the good life. It's about time. It's about time we get a good life. And I honestly believe that selecting the right person will lead us into that good life. Once that person have, and back to Odessa again, once that person have a team, because it's not a one-man show, you must put together a competent team. There must be competence within your camp.
Yeah. And I don't think you can underscore that even more. Leadership matters. Who leads matters. I mean, just look at the other side. It matters. It matters.
It do. It do. Because at the end of the day, we can't be here throwing shades at the PvP, and then we see like a leader that is incompetent the same way as the PvP, and we get in a deaf silence from our leader. We don't want that. We don't want a deaf silence from our
Well,
leader.
I can pack my bag and come by your end, Governor.
Yeah, we want a leader that is gonna interact with the people, get to the people, and let we know exactly. Just like Cheryl, we want a leader like Cheryl Duncan. Ain't frightened for take off his jacket and throw two punches at the Jagabats.
It's
We
story
want that
now.
kind of leader, and then he must put on back his jacket and be presidential.
Gotta do what we gotta do, my brother. Boots on the ground, we ain't backing down.
Yeah. Over
Odessa.
to my colleague Odessa.
Wow. Well, there's just so much floating around my head, Jared. Well, I think if I were to go back to the question, in terms of what I'd like to see after the Congress, um, I think that, as is being echoed, because I mean I'm on the outside looking in, and as is being echoed,
Two
there
of
is
us.
need for
Two of us on the
R-
outside looking in.
oh, you outside? Yes, I peeping through the window and I want to see what's going on.
Governor, Governor, way on the
No,
outside.
governor inside,
Overseas outside.
governor inside,
Overseas
quite
outside.
comfortable too. Um,
Overseas outside.
right outside. But one of the things I would like to see though is that there is some degree of unification
Mhm.
of the party, because of course after any election, people will be disgruntled, people will be hurt, and in competitions generally, if you can call it that, people tend to feel that they were cheated. Everybody feel like, oh, it's me, the cheat and did this and did that, and people got all sorts of hurt and all sorts of things that they want to throw out there. But at the end of the day, everybody's candidate can't win. But every candidate can work together for the betterment of the party. And even
Like I
again,
heard
going
us,
back to
like I heard us somewhere before.
shut up.
Some
Going back to
philosophical.
accountability though, Sharon. Going back to accountability, it therefore means with that unity, you're able to hold the government accountable for what is going on and all these things that are happening. And, you're able to perhaps change the dynamics of the party a little here and there as is needed. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter who is in government. They must be held accountable for whatever
Mhm,
it is that they're doing.
mhm.
Again, I would like to say that my preference would have been for one of the younger people. Oh God, I really, I really would have preferred to see, a Roysdale Ford, a Christopher Jones, a Ganesh Maipal, someone of the younger people. We have a Manzo, we got
Shaman
uh
Solomon, you got Vanessa
Danny, you
Kissoon.
got Solomon. I heard Solomon is so good. I heard him last night. I paid keen attention to his interview last night. We have so many impressive young people. And again, saying that youth is not the only requirement, but of
Criteria,
course,
yeah, yeah,
you need fresh perspective.
yeah.
And no matter how you look at it, no matter how we feel, when you're of a certain age, there's certain things you can't take away from them big people here. You could talk cheese. They when you get to a certain age, you are for the most part set in your ways. And I think that there has to be some degree of newness, some degree of freshness that comes and brings different perspective to the table. And I would have liked to see that at the very top of the party. But of course, that is not the case. But I just hope that people are able to listen to the candidates objectively. Don't
Yeah.
come on to criticize. Don't come on because you don't like this person. Yeah, I got a personal problem. He brought a mother, sister, friend, the thief some mangoes from you back in the 80s. Listen, ain't nobody got the time for this. It is about listening and asking pertinent questions and making that decision for yourself. It's not just about who everybody's saying or who nobody ain't saying, because nobody ain't like this one, me like he, because everybody. You have to be able to sit down as a mature adult and think through all that is required for the leadership in your judgment, because what I might be looking for in a leader you might not be looking for. We may have a few similarities, but we may have very distinct differences, and it is important to sit down, to pay attention, and to look to see what you like. And that is why I look at your show, Sherrod, because I look to see what I like.
Yes, we're talking
I
now.
just had I had to throw that in there.
And but I think you've underscored, you both of you guys have underscored so much there, because I think how people look at the candidates could be where they are in their own life. I mean, my aunt from the US called me, and she was fascinated, for instance, by Dr. Van der Childs and what he would have said on Tuesday night. I think it was somebody else listening to Aubrey Norton might have a different takeaway. Somebody listening to Mr. Harmon. So and you have all of these people have all these expectations of the various candidates and of the party. And I listened to Governor talked early on about the way persons might feel now about where the party is and so forth. But I think if you understand the arc of politics and how it works. I mean, I lived through a period when we thought that PNC or any party would never get back into power. And then there was 2011, and then there was 2015. I think it's about always putting your shoulder to the wheel, all of us, and pulling in one direction. I think together we can do it. So I'm not paying too much of a concern. People who say about, oh, this little mudslinging and that kind of stuff. This is politics. What do we expect? Right?
No,
This is politics. This is the nature of it. Right? But at the end of the day, people come back and we say, we have a common enemy. It's them Jagabats on the other side, and we're gonna marshal forces and we're gonna fight them. Right? Whoever wins this thing, I think we're gonna come back there. That being said, folks, I want to thank you all. Governor, you're about to say something. Sorry, I was cutting you there.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming in the ring.
Thank you.
Having this discussion, it can only be to our benefit. I didn't hear. I know, again, the listeners are going to have several takeaways. People listening to hear if you beat up on any candidate and all of that, and you seem pro somebody and anti somebody. It's politics, as Odessa said. Somebody got to win, right? And hopefully we are mature enough. We set this up in a nice way that there are win-wins for everybody. Everybody's needed for this work of deposing the PPP, right? So don't get vexed. Don't get vexed. I think it's Obama himself said so. Don't get vexed. Go to vote.
Right. Get vexed and go and vote.
Yes.
The vote is to get rid of the Jagabats at the same time.
Ultimately, that's the ultimate aim.
But Sharon, if there's one little thing I could stick in about this voting business, because I know a lot of people saying, oh, this person got a party card, so they're not entitled to an opinion and all of that. They govern all of us. And again, I would like for people to leave with everybody's entitled to an opinion when it comes to leadership. Those are the two major political parties, and I in the business and I in the face, both of them. Because they have to answer to me. Because when they go out there and talk foolishness and do stupidness, it affects me. It affects my children. It affects my family.
It's really embarrassing.
Yes, it's very embarrassing.
That being said,
before you go, I want to hear Odessa say is the PNC for she.
You want to hear my what?
I want to say it's the PNC for you.
Apparently, tingles him to say that.
Thing. I am mind though, it's the PNC for me.
That's right. It's not about the party, it's not about the leader and who we is the PNC for we. That's what it is.
I love
party
that.
Force. Party force. It's the PNC
I love that. Never mind, she come in a licking red.
Actually, it's orange. Let me tell you, this is orange. This is orange.
We call us sensitive in this country. We call us sensitive in this country, right?
Listen, but I'm with your party, so I don't know, like, you expect me in a guana green.
I talk a little too long, but Frank, so I'm a little concerned. a little too long for me. Don't come wrong with funny. Folks, thanks. Thank you. The poor people governor, Mr. Kelvin Allen himself. The rich people governors, Miss Odessa Primus, Odie. Good. Thank you, folks, for coming in the ring and sharing your vast insights with us. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Have a good evening, guys.
Great,
All right.
great. Guys, I regret we could not have Melly Mel or lights. I don't know, like GPL passed by Melly Mel earlier. And I know she would have been here with us. Had
Mariella.
she let me turn off your audio there. If she could have, thank you guys for coming by in the ring, guys. It was our privilege having you guys this evening. I think I want to hear. I think I want to hear this little piece from Irfaan Ali before we go. I think I need a one more time and give me a song slip this evening before we go. Hear the madness on the other side. Listen. Any of the leaders that we got on our side will be far better than this madness. Any of them. You hear me? Any of them. Hear madness. Hear madness.
And importantly, knowing the needs that we will have for personnel in the hospitality sector, we agreed with Barbados that they will support us.
Folks, we can't do worse than that. We can't do worse than that, folks. Share the live stream as you go. I think I want to hold us one more time. We can't do worse than that. Share the live stream, guys. I'm going to stick around and give a couple folks a shout out just after this.
And importantly, knowing the needs that we will have for personnel in the hospitality sector, we agreed with Barbados that they will support us.
Yep. And folks, that is what they say leadership is, Leadership does not conceal who you are. The higher you go, leadership reveals who you are. You can't pretend, whatever inside leadership is reveal all of that. And that's Irfaan. Irfaan is just Irfaan. Irfaan is just Irfaan, folks. Thank you guys for coming by. Rennie McKenzie Talbot is still here. And I see Denny's London Welshman. Tanzam McFarlane. Am I calling that right? Tanzim McFarlane. Cecile. Oh my, I have to. Debbie Prince. Gail Alicock. How are you doing, Gail? Shout out to Gail Alicock from New Jersey. And I want to give Gail's sister a shout out as well. I want to give Glennis Chilcott a shout out there in New Jersey as well. Margaret Nelson, Philip Bombery from Canada, Alexis Arthur. I want to say good night to Wendell Henry and Marlon Thomas. All you fantastic folks. And Raquel Peters, Elizabeth Williams, Elizabeth Nurain, Robert Archer, Warnella Garnett. Good night to you as well, Warnella. Great to see all of you folks spending this time with us. Good night to Winston Granada. Good to see you, Winston Grenada. We did extra. Granada. Good to see each and every one of you guys. Thanks for coming by this evening. You've made our evening so much better. Onika Brahma Paddy. Good to see you there. Janet Edwards, Precious Favor, Angela McDonald, all you wonderful folks. Ensure you share the live stream before you go, guys. And as well, ensure that you partner with us. Because, guys, it's October, month 10. The bills don't pay themselves. And you guys know that this program is powered by you. Thank you guys for coming on board. All of my friends there and helping us, move this work forward. Thank you so much. Come and partner with us. Guys, the next time we see each other, all things being equal, it will be November 1st. Monday is November 1. So I'll see you guys next month. I'm going to see you guys next month. It's going to be November 1st on Monday. And I've had a fantastic October with you guys. Come on board, partner with us. Help us to pay the bills before they turn the light off and they lock the door to the room. Help us to pay our bills, folks. Great to have each and every one of you in the ring with us. It is our pleasure. It is our privilege having you. Several platforms are available. You probably know them by heart, but still we're going to share them with you, from Cash App to the PayPal platform to the MMG platform. We have the Western Union and the MoneyGram platforms available as well. Folks, help us to meet our obligations this month. This program is powered by you, each and every one of you, folks. Each and every one of you. It's powered by you. We got to fight. Help us to keep fighting. We got to keep out there. We got to keep fighting. Help us to keep fighting. People, the program is powered by each and every one of you. Yes, you, Roderick Jarrick. Powered by you, Roderick Jarrick. Powered by you, Denise Samuels. Powered by you, Precious Favor. Powered by you, Renee Mackenzie Talbot, one of our favorites. And powered by you, Daniel Passad, Margaret Jones. Come on down. Great to see all you fantastic folks. Joylyn Cook. Folks, have a fantastic weekend coming up. On the weekend, you'll have Alliance on the Move right on this Facebook page here and on YouTube as well. Folks, looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday, November 1. See you guys next month. Make sure you update. See you guys next month. Fantastic night to all of you guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for those of you who've already come on board and partnering with us, helping us along the way. So many of you know y'all got the means, but you're stingy. Right? If you're hand tight, you can't get nothing. That's the thing we used to sing in church back in the day. Janet Coates, Marcia Agard, Dolet, good to see you. Janet, Dolet Asana. Janet, good to see you as well. I see Jem. Is it Van Veal? Jem Van Veal, good to see you. Nash, good to see you there. All of you other fantastic folks. Thanks for joining us in the ring for the past 5 days, 5 nights. Great to see all of you. Great to have all of you in the ring with us, guys. Have a fantastic, powerful, inspirational, great, bigly. Have a have a great weekend, guys, and do stay safe. Have a great weekend.